Welcome back. I'm going to start with a new series, which is all about SPSS, the tool which we use it basically for the analysis of the data. So this is required when we are looking for the research. So normally the SPSS is said to be the preference number one by most of the entry level or middle level researchers across the world. It's most preferred software for the statistical analysis. So let us start with this. I'm going to drive this particular session with the help of my PPT. Let us get into that. So welcome back to this session of SPSS. This is a pre-SPSS session where I'm going to discuss a lot of things with respect to research first. What is all about? It's a life, and research is integral part of the life. It happens in a very minute way, a really integrated way, really in a different facets of the life. We are going to have a research. What I mean by that? Look at few examples which I always suggest it. How exactly the look at it? Look at very first example which talks about there is a pop-up there. It's a toothpaste. What it is talking about? It tells what kind of a toothpaste we normally prefer. What can be the size of it? How exactly we can have the preferences in that. Is your child, is your elderly will going to prefer the same kind of the toothpaste? Should I go for quantity wise, the bigger size or smaller size? These all things will come into picture. Second part of the life, maybe we look forward for what we call it as I wanted to go for shopping. I want to go for shopping. What I'm going to look at? Is it the bigger shop? Is it the branded shop? Should I go for where exactly my friends visit? Am I going to get discount somewhere? All those things will come into the picture as a questions to us, and we decide a lot on that. Look at it. I said the brand preference of the toothpaste. It's a research. Yes, we do that. We can change our preferences. Look at it. Another question. Students wanted to spend the vacation. Okay, it all differs from the demographics. Okay, somebody wanted to go for tour, somebody wanted to go for shopping, somebody liked to spend his time into the film. Many things are there. Another question for set of people who are looking for the vehicle. Is my vehicle is most accepted is the question. There are many further questions are there. After sales service, is my vehicle is good? Is my vehicle is looking for the mileage? Is a brand ambassador makes sense for me? Do I have a resale value? Do I look for the bigger brand? Am I going for looking for local brands or international brand? Availability of the vehicle and so on and so forth. We'll have few more things. It can be another part. Yes, television. Very famous cartoon there, Mickey Mouse. Which communities look at it? Is it children? Is it elderly? Is it old people? Is it available in the varieties of language? Should I go for it? Research is required. Then it will going to be telecasted. Where I'm going to telecast it? For that matter, we talk about prime time. Okay, so these all things will come into picture in the research as an integral part of it, which I'm talking about. Now, look at another part of it. Which commodity are normally not under loss? Big question, right? Which commodity is said to be not under loss? Very difficult question for the finance people. Can I do a research on this? Is internet marketing is boon or bane for any business? Another question. Are my employees are satisfied? This is a question for any entrepreneurs. Are they happy with the perks? Are they happy with the salary? Are they happy with the boss existing whom we are nominated? Is the leaves policies are good? Is campus is made them to be satisfied over here? Many questions, many questions. Get into customer satisfaction in the retail industry. Are my customers are happy? Are they satisfied in terms of products availability, in terms of campus, in terms of ambience, in terms of cleanliness, in terms of my employees' behavior with them? All those things can be thought as a research. Is the fruit is good, or the question is which fruit is not good for the diabetic patient? Another question, and people are having lots of research on this. Maybe many visibilities are there, like a set of fruits are gone very costly because maybe it is marketed, maybe it is a research tells like this is a particular fruit good for certain kind of a patients. Why current generation boys don't shave daily? Another area of research, and there are many things are there which are getting continuously getting into that. Now let us look at it, how I can answer all these questions. Do I have any tools for it? Yes, I have. I need to get into the structural method of getting into research. We call it as a research methodology. I need to get into the literature. Prior to me, there are many people who have done the literature, I mean the research. I'm going to refer them. Very important part of the research. I'm going to understand whether I'm going to do a research which is a descriptive in nature, inferential into nature, or prescriptive in nature. Okay, descriptive is one. I'm going to get some data currently and previous historical data, and I'm going to do something there. Inferential is, yes, current data, I'm going to take it and I'm going to give the inferences about the primary data. Prescriptive is something I'm going to give judgmental, something I'm going to give a strategy for the futuristic analysis. Okay, so am I going to do that? So those all things will start from the research methodology, okay, which is going to be again discussed further. So what is the meaning of it? Look at it. I said there is a descriptive, there is a predictive, there is a prescriptive. Okay, descriptive is one which is past and present data, and I say something, look, this is what exactly patterns looks like. Okay, most of the girls likes to go for the movies which are funny in nature. Humor is involvement is required in the movie, whereas maybe above 35 to 50 aged people likes to have something which is talking about the ethics and all. Okay, so these all things we are going to tell the patterns. That's it. That is all about descriptive analysis or customer satisfaction. All those things are talking about past and present data, and we are going to understand what is that data is all about. That's it. Predictive is getting into next step. Analyze the past performance and predict bit. Okay, probabilities of the trend analysis. All these days, maybe the gold environments, ornaments were been expected to be moderately heavy size. Now, because of current trend, the gold rate is gone so high, people will look at either anything less than 10 grams or less than 5 grams. I'm going to give such kind of a futuristic predictions. As predictive is the nomenclature, it itself is going to talk about. Prescriptive, am I going to talk about optimization techniques over here? I'm going to evaluate, I'm going to give the possible different constraints. Maybe the game theory comes into picture, varieties of strategies, which is the strategy which you're going to minimize that maximization of the loss. I'm not going to lose any customer. These all things will going to be, there are three ways of looking at the basic business analytics. So descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. We are going to take one and we'll going to continue with that. To do all these things, I need the methodology. So it will going to talk about what is that research is all about, why I should do for it. So I need to have a research with objectivities. Okay, so maybe my first objectivity can be, I'd like to understand the familiarity with respect to subject. I'd like to understand what is this subject is all about. I'd like to understand what are the characteristics, what are the patterns, how are different groups are going to behave with the with the service or the product, what is happening around us. with respect to kind of a customers. All those things will going to be spoken over here. Maybe another way of looking at objective is, maybe I'm going to look at it, is determine what is the frequency, maybe in a number I'm going to look at it. How many times is it happening? Okay, how exactly the things are getting into a frequent basis, or I'm going to tell about, I'm going to assume something and I'm going to try to prove that there is a relation, there is an association, there is a significance. All those things need to be taken as objective, then the research will going to begin. So I need to have a specific purpose to start a research. So without purpose, now the question will be, most of the time entry level researchers will ask, should we set a title first or objective first? It's a big question actually. So if you ask set of researchers which whom I follow, we prefer set the objectives. Title can be rewritten many a times. Title can be rewritten many times. Okay, so objective is important for the research. Once the objectives are set, we come to a research flow. Okay, we come to research flow. So I have defined the problem, its objectives. For respect to that particular objectives, I'd like to go over here, the literature part of it. I'll keep reading the relative literature over here. The previous findings are going to be taken. There are 4 sections are in the literature review. If you try to understand what is that literature is all about. So we are going to gain a lot of knowledge with respect to literature, what I'm going to do with respect to my project. Once I get to understand what previous researchers have found, now I'm going to connect that to my research and I'll formulate or define or rewrite my objective and formulate the hypothesis also. This is going to give me the guidelines for setting the research methodology, which talks about sample design, sampling, all those things are going to be set like. Once it is done, I'll definitely think of collection of the data collected. If it is understood properly by us, then we can go for analysis of it, interpret it, and maybe we can come out with a beautiful research. So this is how exactly flow is going to be set. This flow need to have timeline. Every research need to have a timeline. Without a timeline, I don't feel research is going to be meaningful. Every research, I'll just quote one example over here. Maybe if somebody has started a research on the taxation, okay, and if he said like those days GST was, VAT was very, very good, and I would like to do a study on VAT, how exactly it is impacting the business people or the layman. And over a period, GST came into picture, now his VAT is gone. And if he try to say something and I have done a research on VAT, people will say it's nonsense. So you need to be very, very clear about what is this whole lot is. What is this whole lot is. Okay, so I need to know the research and its impact with respect to time frame. Time frame is very important. So we need to understand few more questions here whenever we talk about methodology. One is population, one is sample, and how to select sample size. Okay, so definitely population is known. There are 2 kinds of populations will be there. One is target population, one is accessible population. Say I'm going to do something for the product which is suitable for the female community, employee who are women. Okay, so my target population is maybe the entire group who work. Okay, for example, I have mentioned here all the working women employees. This is target population. Can I access them? Is the question. I may not. Okay, so I need to reduce. Say maybe I'm from Maharashtra, then I'm going to say all working women employees of Kolhapur. Maybe I can access them. Or I can say all the working employees of Karnataka, or Hubli, maybe Aurangabad. You can say some restriction need to be given. So whom I can accent, I can really do something out of it. So population is complete set of persons or objects, and on which I would like to do some research on. Okay, out of that I'll take the samples. Okay, I'm going to get into sample. I'll try to select the set of elements. Okay, out of the study preferred. So how will you select? I need to understand what exactly the sampling methods are all about. Okay, so I need to understand what is sampling frame. Once we do these things, okay, so for example, I would like to do a research which is respect to mobile users. So I have given one example, list of all mobile users between 20 and 30, and that to iPhone, and that too between December and January. And in Hubli, look at the area of I'm talking about. I have taken the age group, I have taken kind of phone, I have given the period, and in the particular city, everything is crystal clear. This is how exactly I'm going to take the samples, and I'm going to give some conclusion over that. So sampling methods basically categorized into two: probabilities and non-probability sampling. So you have multiple methods into that. Non-probability starts with the convenience, judgmental, snowball, and quota sampling, whereas probability starts with a simple random, stratified, cluster, and systematic sampling. So I'll not get into what these are. Okay, I'll straight away go to into. There are two ways of data again: internal, external. Among the external, primary and secondary. So I need to get into whether I'm going to access the primary data or secondary data, depending on the what kind of objectives and what is the research project is all about. So if at all I go for secondary data, then I have varieties of publications, varieties of sources are available. So I'm going to get into which is that is better, which is that is genuine, which is that is said to be the right data. I need to be very careful about it. So I need to get it from the listed over here, the government bodies, the municipal corporation, the institutions, the international bodies, all those things I'm going to collect the data. And I need to say that, yes, I have referred this. This is very important. If it is a direct, then there are again many methods are there. Look at it. I am going to investigate with the personalities. I'm going to do the interview, maybe telephonic, who knows. I'm going to get into the mail questionnaires. I'm going to investigate into local report questionnaires. I'm going to do with the oral investigation. I'm going to address to the group. Okay, there are many methods are there how I can collect the primary data. Okay, so it can be interview, it can be questionnaire, it can be many methods are there. So I'll take quickly if it is a questionnaire. So I need to have questionnaire design. There are many standards are there. We need to follow those all standards. Do the coding, collect the data, and get ready for SPSS analysis. This is basically I'm looking, all those things need to be very clear. So I need to have what is objectives, how exactly I can collect the data. If at all it is a questionnaire or interview kind, so coding is important. Once you're done the coding, code sheet ready, data is fed accordingly without any flaws in the data. Okay, there should not be any noise, we call it as. Noise is not allowed in the research in terms of data. So once our data is cleansed, data is there with me, I can do a lot of things which we are going to discuss in the all the sessions of what we call it as the data analysis using SPSS. Okay, from here the very first thing will come, like I have quoted one or two examples over here. Maybe we can do projects with respect to finance, impact of working capital management of profitability, evidence from Indian listed textiles. Look at it. The sample size is 100. I'm taking it as a judgmental sampling. I have taken a period of 2018 to 20, and I'm going to do certain things which are correlation, regression, standard deviation, and mean. I'm going to say something on this. I have another example over here, which is talking about marketing topic, consumer behavior towards online shopping, an empirical study in Bangladesh, Dhaka city. And I have taken, look at the sample size, 160 e-commerce customers. It's a convenience sampling. It is a non-probabilistic. So I'm going to use the tool, which is percentages, bar charts, pie charts. With this, I'm able to tell what exactly this is objective of this particular project is all about. Let us understand HR subject, HR topic also, a study of attrition in the IT industry in Pune city. It talks about, yes, I'm going to talk to at least 100 employees who are working in the software industry, because I said it is IT industries in Pune. I'm going to take sample it as employees in the, I'm going to talk to employees, and that too in the Pune city. So I'm going to do again chi-square test. I'm going to do it. Correlations I'm trying to do. Coefficients, I'm correlation coefficient. Maybe I can go with the regression kind, and I'm going to conclude something out of it. So In total, I need to get into the population. I need to get into the how exactly I can come out of the results out of it. A few things which are sample and all, which I have spoken with you people. So this is how exactly sampling will be done. And yes, we come to the thing which we call it as analysis part of it. Once it is done, yes, will not speak about qualitative and quantitative research. We are going to straight away get into quantitative research. Maybe you can refer sometimes these points, why I should get into quantitative, why I should get into qualitative research. Okay, so it depends on what is that objectivity is in your mind with respect to research is all about. Once you're done this, so you should be ready with the SPSS. We should understand installation process. That's the simplest thing happening in the any part of the IT world. So once you are done with the installation, I'm going to create set of variables. I'm going to create cases. Then I'm going to find out what kind of a variables all about, and we are going to create a master code sheet. And with that, we create set of cases, and we will be ready for data analysis. Okay, this is how exactly. Yes, I'll again speak about these measurement skills. There are three kinds of data we are going to use in terms of variables. It is ordinal, nominal, and interval. Ordinal are the one which in order, they are in the ranking. Say I'm going to take a something like satisfaction level: highly satisfied, highly not satisfied, in between, moderate. Those kind of a things we call it as ordinal or ordinal. Nominal data are the one which you cannot categorize them. Okay, we can categorize them, but we are not going to have any order for it. For example, gender, there is no something called as a high is female and low is male, or vice versa. There is nothing called as. There is no city can be ranked over here. City A and city B and city C, that's it. It is Hubli, Dharwad, Belgaum, or Pune, Mumbai, and Delhi. They are the cities, that's it. There is no categorization called as the colors. They are the colors, that's it. So they are all called as nominal. Now, if I have a third category, that is interval, where I'm going to take the examples like year, date, temperature, all those things which are continuously in process, they are called as interval. Now, maybe from my side, I'm going to put as we are going to do most of the time. If I'm talking to the social science people, so we normally require ordinal and nominal data. Okay, on which normally we do the descriptive analysis like percentages, mean, median, mode, correlation, and ANOVA. I have mentioned the inferential statistics, which all can be done on nominal and ordinal too. Okay, we are going to deal with this in detail. So right now, I can say a big thank you for watching my video. I'll keep posting my videos. This is my first session. Please subscribe my channel, like my channel, and keep watching my next videos on SPSS. Thank you very much.